There was a time when laundry was not something you fit into a Tuesday. It was the Tuesday. The work claimed a day, a room, a water supply, and usually a person, and everyone in the household arranged themselves around it. Then a machine arrived, and the promise attached to that machine was total. The day would disappear. Here is the contradiction. The evidence available on this subject does not describe laundry vanishing. It describes laundry being rebuilt. Reference definitions still group laundry with cooking and childcare as household work, which is a quiet way of saying the task survived its own automation. So the real question is not how fast the machine got. It is what happened to the meaning of laundry day once the labor moved into a drum. The answer sits in three places: water, timing, and a set of symbols printed inside your clothes. Start with the promise, because the promise was narrower than the marketing that followed it. A washing machine, in the standard definition, is a machine designed to launder clothing. That is the whole job description. Not to sort, not to dry, not to fold, not to decide what is safe to wash. One verb, one category of object. The historical framing in the reference material is equally restrained. It describes methods of cleaning that gradually led to mechanized solutions to laundry work, and it names two of them: the washing machine and later the tumble dryer. That word, gradually, is doing important work. It rules out the version of this story where one inventor solves laundry in an afternoon. What the record supports is accumulation, a long practice of washing, then partial mechanization, then a second machine to handle the half of the process the first one left wet on your hands. The constraint that shaped everything is hiding inside the definition. The term washing machine is mostly applied to machines that use water. That sounds like a technicality. It is actually the design brief. A machine committed to water inherits every problem water brings. It has to be filled and drained, which means it wants plumbing. Water carries heat away, which means temperature becomes a variable someone has to control. Water is heavy, and heavy loads spinning in a container become a mechanical engineering problem rather than a cleaning problem. This is inference from the definition rather than a documented account of any particular prototype. But the shape of the constraint is not in doubt. A water machine cannot be a freestanding gadget. It has to become part of the building. And once a cleaning task requires infrastructure, the location of that task stops being negotiable. It is worth being honest about what the available evidence does not contain. My source pack names no first prototype, no failed patent, no workshop, and no single inventor, and I am not going to supply names that the record in front of me does not support. What the record does show is that water was never the only candidate. The same definition that centers water immediately lists alternatives: dry cleaning and ultrasonic cleaning. Those are not footnotes. They are competing answers to the same question, which is how you remove unwanted material from fabric without destroying the fabric. Dry cleaning solved it by changing the solvent. Ultrasonic cleaning solved it by changing the mechanism of agitation itself. Both survive today. That tells you the water-based machine did not win because it was the only physically possible route. It won a competition, and it won it inside the home, where plumbing already existed. The turning point in this story is not the washing machine. It is the second machine. The reference sequence is explicit about order. Mechanized laundry work produced the washing machine, and later, the tumble dryer. Consider what that gap meant while it lasted. A household with a washer had automated the part of laundry that happens in a basin, and had automated none of the part that happens in the air. Wet fabric still needed space, time, and conditions. Laundry day survived because drying kept it on a schedule that no machine controlled. When drying was mechanized too, the entire cycle came indoors and became a matter of hours instead of weather. That is the structural change behind the phrase in this episode's title. Laundry day did not shrink. It dissolved, because a process that no longer waits for anything external no longer needs its own day. Laundry symbols are the least visible half of the washing machine, and they explain why the appliance works at all. A laundry symbol, also called a care symbol, is a pictogram that carries the manufacturer's suggestions for washing, drying, and dry cleaning a specific garment. Think about what that system implies. A machine that applies water, heat, and agitation cannot know the difference between a cotton towel and a fabric that will be ruined by the same cycle. The machine is indifferent, so the knowledge had to be stored somewhere else, and it was stored on the garment, in a compressed visual language that travels with the item for its whole life. That is the standardization beat in this story. Mechanizing the washing created a new requirement for instructions, and the instructions were pushed onto labels and onto whoever loads the drum. The judgment did not disappear. It changed format. The consequences of that shift show up in an odd product category: the laundry ball. A laundry ball, also called a washing ball, is a solid, insoluble object, promoted as a substitute for laundry detergent. Note the verb in that description, promoted. My evidence describes how these products are positioned in the market, not whether they clean, and I am not going to close that gap with a claim the pack does not make. What the existence of the category demonstrates is something else, and it is genuinely revealing. Once laundry became a machine cycle, the machine created a recurring cost and a recurring purchase, and a market appeared to attack that cost. A system stable enough to have substitutes is a system that has become ordinary. The laundry ball is not evidence about chemistry. It is evidence that the washing machine had become the default around which other products had to define themselves. Now the uncertainty, stated plainly, because this topic invites confident numbers that my evidence cannot support. I have no figures here for hours saved per week, no adoption curves, no household surveys, and no measured comparison between hand washing and machine washing. Anyone quoting precise time savings is drawing on sources beyond this pack. There is also a limit inside the material itself. The passage grouping laundry with cooking and childcare is cut off in the excerpt available to me, so I can report the grouping, but not the conclusion the original sentence was building toward. What survives that scrutiny is the structural claim, not the quantitative one. Laundry was mechanized gradually, in 2 stages, around a water-based constraint, and it remained categorized as household work afterward. That is a narrower thesis than the usual one, and it is the one the evidence carries. Today, the appliance is so thoroughly assumed that the term itself has drifted. Washing machine now needs a disambiguation page because the phrase points at several different things, and the household appliance is only the primary one. Words do that when an object stops being remarkable. Meanwhile, the alternatives never left. Dry cleaning still exists, as a separate industry for garments the water machine cannot safely handle. Ultrasonic cleaning still exists as a distinct method. Care symbols still route each item toward the right process. The modern result is not one solution, but a sorting system, and the person doing the sorting is the same person who used to do the scrubbing. So the consequence is this: the washing machine did not abolish laundry day. It removed the constraints that made laundry a scheduled event, and in exchange, it distributed the work into small, constant, invisible increments that no longer look like labor at all. The day is gone. The task is not. It was traded for plumbing, a second machine, a language of pictograms, and a household member who reads them. Visual reconstructions are illustrative. Facts and interpretations are based on the sources listed in the description.